Hey guys, welcome to tonight's Tabby Talk, a place where you can come and be encouraged and hopefully in turn be able to use some of this to encourage someone else and those around you. If you're joining for the first time, welcome. I hope you go back and listen to some of the other talks. If you're a returner, welcome back. Thank you for your support. Tonight, I'm going to jump in. So basically tonight, I'm going to tell you a little story about something that has kind of, I guess, been, not really a story, I guess. I'm just going to tell you about an experience and what I thought about it. Kind of how I always do, use an analogy, or I'm just a visual person. So, if you're a first timer, you'll get a lot of analogies and visuals with me. So, in the morning, yes, I'm a working mom, but in the mornings, I drop my daughter off at my mom's. I'm so thankful that I can at least take her to my mom's because I'm not sure. I know people trust other people. My mom watches other kids, but it would have been a lot harder to go back to work taking her to like a childcare for me. Anyway, nothing bad on childcares. I'm thankful for them. I know people use them all the time. I know they're amazing. But I'm just thankful that my mom's able to keep my daughter. But anyway, sidetracked. So when I'm driving, a couple times a week, I'm not always 100% on time. So I don't always have this, but a couple times a week, when I am driving, either I'll pass them on my way to drop my daughter off, or after I've dropped her off on my way to work, I'll end up behind it. But I end up behind this school bus, and I know it's the same school bus every time because it's a unique school bus. It's not your normal yellow school bus with, whatever the district is down the side, or white. It's not like a classic school bus. The look of it, I guess, it's the same shape. It's a normal school bus, but what they've done is they have painted this entire bus a different color, that color being matte black, a dull, no shine black, if you don't know what matte black is. And I see it often, and some of you may already know why it's painted black, some of you may not. Some of you have never seen it, and I had never experienced or seen it until probably like a few months back, and now I see it like all the time. But so this bus is painted black, and the reason being is that it's not a normal school bus. It doesn't have children on it. It actually has inmates on it. So what this is, and I'm not 100% sure, but I know where they're driving to. So I know kind of ish, what it is. But so they're kind of your, if I'm correct on this, the one that I see is kind of your like lower class level of like necessarily what they did wrong. Like it's the not as serious, I guess you could say, crimes that they've committed. So from what I understand as well, they are going towards this place called Riverview, where they actually go and then they end up like doing work and stuff like that. They're kind of sometimes the people you see like working on the side of the roads and stuff when there's still like an officer or somebody present. So they're like not high risk criminals, I guess you could say. So anyway, so I pass this, or I see this bus either pass me or I'm behind it, multiple times a week, and it has stood out to me a lot more lately, and I just got to thinking about it, and I got to thinking about the significance of the color of that bus and it being black, and the fact that these people have committed a crime and they are in trouble because they have sinned. And when you think of sin, you think of onyx or black, so the color is kind of a symbol of what has happened in their life. And I also think of it as like, you think of a normal school bus as a bright yellow and you want it to stand out. Whereas this bus, it does not stand out. And I like the image of that, because to me, we don't want to flaunt people's sins. We don't want to make it public, the wrong and the bad things that they've done. And I kind of was going another way with this, but I might be turning this around. I might go both ways. So I thought of it, I was thinking about the news at the time and thinking of how in the news it's always the breaking news, the breaking story of what went wrong. And we highlight that. And I don't feel like we should always, I'm not saying news is wrong either. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying we shouldn't know what's going on in the world, but I don't think, just like these people who have committed a sin or a crime, they're not being highlighted by riding down the road in this bright pink or orange or yellow bright colored bus with alarms going off saying they've done something wrong, and we're not highlighting it. They're discreetly driving down the road. They've, made it a dark color so that it's not like a standout kind of thing, because I don't think we should be highlighting that. I don't think, and I don't think it's fair to them. Like, I know they did something wrong, but I also believe in second chances. I also believe in, what if they didn't know God? What if they didn't, you know what I mean? Like, and I want that for them. So I don't want to sit here and highlight and harp on the negative and the bad things in their life. Yes, they should, be reprimanded, get in trouble, and do what they're supposed to do. But I'm not going to highlight it, just like they're not highlighting it by going down the road with alarms and sirens and all the things. Now, I was thinking about it again and thinking in my life, like, I don't want to highlight, like, at the end of the day, I sit down and I'm like, oh, I didn't do this, or I didn't get through that, or I should have done this, or I should look like this, or I should be doing this, or, all the things that we didn't accomplish in that day, or all the things that we want to change in our life. And not that you shouldn't, again, focus, you have good and bad days. You shouldn't necessarily focus only on the good things and not focus on things you didn't get done, because yes, you have things to accomplish. But I personally find myself harping on the things I did wrong or the things I didn't get done, and then it turns into just deeper issues of, like, then I turn it into not being a good wife or a good mom, or so I was driving behind that and I thought, man, I need that in my life. When I have had a rough day, or I haven't done everything I should have done, or I've, messed up, or whatever it is, like, I'm going to recognize it and I'm going to move on. I'm not going to sit and harp on it, because it doesn't do any good for me. It doesn't do any good for my family. It doesn't do any good for anybody around me, because then my whole mood and my attitude is down. So I'm going to try to focus on recognizing it, seeing it, correcting it, moving on, and then turning it into good, turning it into light, and focusing on the good things that I did accomplish, or I did get done, or, the good things I did do, and how, just things like that. If it's in your job and you had a rough day, like, you had a rough day, it's okay. We all have our rough days. If it's in your family, if it's with your child and you had a rough parenting moment, like, you recognize it. I'm not against apologizing to your kid, because I'm going to tell you, I've reacted with my own child, and I have apologized because I want her to recognize, like, I'm not a perfect person. She's not a perfect person, and I want her to come to me, and I want to come to her. So recognizing it and just not highlighting it, painting it that matte black color, that dull color with no gloss, and moving it on, and putting it behind me and going about my day. So I just want to encourage you in that, just to think about that, and in your life personally, whether it's work, whether it's physical ailments, like, let me tell you, I've got some going on right now and I'm struggling with them, but knowing that, okay, one, let's make an appointment. let's figure out what's going on. Let's change our diet, whatever it is that it is for you, but maybe you need to write it down at the end of the day. Write down whatever it is to get rid of it. Some people, that's their form of just being able to just release it. Let me just write it down and I'm good. And maybe after you write that down, you write down those positive things and those good things that happen throughout the day, and bring the glory and the focus to the good things. Highlight those, paint those bright yellow. Maybe you write them in different colors. That could be a good idea. You write in darker colors the things that maybe went wrong, and then you cross them out. And then after that, you write in a brighter color, the things that went well, and the focus on the highlights and the positivity of your day, and you highlight them and you star them and you put little confetti lines, whatever it is, around them. But the whole purpose and the goal of this is to encourage you to just not harp on the uglies, and to bring light and joy to them, and light and joy to the things that went well and that you have accomplished and gotten through in life and in your day-to-day, and your job, with your family, how far you've come in something. If I'm just using diet for example because it's the easiest thing to kind of put into words, but if you're doing a diet and you struggled, and you're on a health journey and your fitness journey, and maybe you missed a week at the gym, or you fell off in your eating, or you had a soda and you didn't want to have a soda and you're trying to cut sugar and all the things, like, don't be discouraged in it. Take note, notice it, write it down, cross it out, move on, and get back on track. And it's okay. So I hope that was an encouragement to you guys. When I post a scripture on Thursday, I am going to post a picture of that bus kind of as a symbolism, so you can kind of see what I was looking at and what I'm seeing. And yeah, so I look forward to posting that, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And again, as always, if anybody needs any encouragement or anything, please feel free to reach out to me, tabeetalks@gmail.com, or tabee_talks is my Instagram, and you can direct message me on there, or if you can find me on Facebook. But anyway, so I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next week. Bye.